and welcome to this edition of Caribbean House Talk. And Caribbean House Talk, as usual, we aim to bring you issues from things that are funny to curious and even tearfully serious. And today's Caribbean House Talk, we have a very, very nice show for you. And we're going to, as usual, start off with our spicy dish section. Okay, so for our spicy dish today, I happen to be the person that eventually make that decision and what goes into the spicy dish. So we have quite a few things for you. Later on, we're going to have a Dear Health Team section, and we're going to be talking about fire recovery. But right now, we're going to start off with our spicy dish. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick the first item from spicy dish. And I don't know which one I'll pick. I know what's in there, but I don't know which one I'll pick. And folks, if you have things that you want us to read, not so much read, but if you want issues or topics you want to get covered in our spicy dish or our Dear Help Team segment, you can send your items to us via email at qxtv1@gmail.com. That's QUEXTV1@gmail.com. All right, and I guarantee you if it's something very interesting, we will get to it on one of our shows. So the first item that I picked out of spicy dish is: should unmarried adult children be allowed to sleep together or live together in their parents' home? In other words, if you have grown children, they have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they come to visit, should you let them sleep in the same room in your house, or should you let them live even in your house together as an unmarried couple? I'm going to start with Miss Harrison. You have adult children that are visiting you with their girlfriend or boyfriend. Would you let them sleep together in the same bed?
No, because I'm a traditionalist.
You're a traditionalist, okay.
I'm from old school, I would think, and my parents wouldn't allow that, I know. So I don't think it would be right. But then, it depends on the circumstances too. If I only had one bedroom, I guess I might have to, do something, but
Typically, you don't like it.
I don't like that. No,
Okay.
no.
What about you, Alma? You have two boys and they're adults. Would you let them live together with a girl in your home that they're not married to, or sleep in the same bed?
I'm
not putting words in anybody's mouth, just sit.
It is a very sticky situation there because it all depends on the relationship they're having. Maybe they have a child already, maybe there's a child involved. They're already doing what they're doing. I mean, I would let them, honestly, but it's not for long. If it's a weekend night, they're not living in my house, are they? I don't think so.
Well, sleep together or living in your house.
No, they're not going to live. No, they're not going to live. They can visit. And if they visit, if they're already living together and they're visiting, fine. They're already doing it, whether or not they're in my house. So that's okay with me. But they cannot live with me and be together in the same room. No way.
Okay. No. What about your mouth? Your little one is small, but
it's only 8. But I don't think it's a black and white situation. If they are responsible, if I see that they get along and they have a good relationship and they are contributing to the household.
Well, as she said, they're already living together.
They're living together. I know what's going on. And if I can help them, it doesn't mean that it's going to be permanent. But if I can help them through the transition, I will.
Or they're visiting.
Oh, they're visiting and they're really living
It all
together.
depends on the relationship they're having, honestly.
What about you, Caroline?
It's a sticky situation because I don't like it. But I had the situation, with both my children. They live out of town, Virginia at the time, North Carolina, and when they came separately, first of all, I don't believe in anybody staying in my house. That's my thing, guys. I have daughters. However, they came separately. Like the one from Virginia came in with her boyfriend. They had been together a while. They weren't living together. They've been together a while. And my daughter had her own apartment, so whatever she did, that was her business, in Virginia. However, when they came to my house, I made them sleep in separate bedrooms. We had two extra bedrooms. Same with my North Carolina daughter, who lived with her boyfriend And when they came to my house, they had to stay in separate bedrooms. Now, the next time they came, all four came at the same time. And I was caught in a situation, there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
Couldn't have two men sleeping in the bed together or
Right.
two with, daughters, so
Right.
what. So I was in a situation where they had to,
Mhm.
stay one couple in one room and one in another room. And they're smart, I say, and responsible enough that that's all you're gonna do in my bedroom.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't worry about that
So
kind
you
of stuff.
think?
Yeah, no, they're very respectful
Okay.
and they know better.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so I didn't worry about it, and now they both live with their mates. One's getting married, and the other one probably soon. So there's really not much I can say. So you can say it. You don't like it. I don't like it, but
Yeah.
a situation comes up.
Yeah.
The circumstance it changes based on what happens.
Mhm.
True, honestly.
All right, well, I don't like it. I wouldn't allow it. Now, I don't know if any man has slept in my house when I'm out of town. I remember hearing my daughter and my adopted daughter, they had a slip, and I found out that they had barbecues when I was out of town because I'm not in the house. So I wouldn't concern myself too much with that. I would trust that if they did bring somebody here when I'm not here, it would not be somebody who rifled through my jewelry and stuff like that.
Right.
All right, but if I'm in this house with you as your mother, you're not married, I expect you to respect my house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I expect you to respect my house.
Right.
But like Caroline was saying, let's say I had that scenario that she had. I may not have a choice, but and they're already living together. I mean, but I typically don't like some parents say, well, I'd rather they have that here than they go out. No.
You don't do stuff. No.
When you are grown to the point where you're doing that,
Go somewhere.
you need to
Then you
find
can afford to
your
go
place, his place, or a motel, not my house.
Okay, hotel.
Exactly.
But there are circumstances that might call for us to, sometimes, go the other way. So, I
I
think
guess
it's
we
a
have
tricky
to be
one.
flexible as mothers.
As
Uh-huh.
hard as
Yeah,
it
we
is,
have to
yeah.
do this.
Our next item.
Okay, next on the agenda. Okay, this question is asking, should a woman ever pay for a date or pay for their own meal while on a date? What
You
do
want
guys
to
think?
start with that one?
I think at first you should pay for your own stuff. I would go for that. But it all depends on who you're dating, who you're out
If
with.
you ask me
You
out,
should
why am I
know.
paying for anything?
Thank
No,
you.
I mean,
The first date is
If you are not man enough to
he's
pay for a
supposed
meal
to
for
pay
me,
for.
why am I
Because
dating
he
you?
invited
no,
you out.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go out and you eat with someone. You don't want to go back out with this guy, or you don't want to have anything in.
You asked me out.
No,
Yeah.
let me
You
tell
don't
you
want to
something.
feel obligated.
You know what?
Obligated?
Right. No,
A
It's
meal?
not, let me tell you something. Wait a minute. Listen to me. Now, there are some women who just want to pay for their own meal and on the first date, just to feel things out. It's not like you holding anything. Like you holding
a meal.
anything to say. I know it's a meal, but
I'm not
there are
gonna
things
accept
that
a car.
comes with the meal.
I'm not going to accept you to
Because
jewelry, but you
there
will
are
pay for my
times-
meals.
There are times
You know.
when people go out with each other. You invite me out. You pay for my meal. You might want me to go back home with you.
I don't have
Oh
to.
no.
No, but
That
you-
happens.
Yes,
That
but-
happens.
But you're a woman
But-
enough to say no. Where's no?
Okay, that's why
You know.
your no is paying for your own meal. That's how I feel.
And
What do you think, Miss Harrison?
Because honestly,
Anything,
when I went out on my first date with my husband, now I pull out my little $20 and I put it down right there.
Was that because of pride?
Did he
What
allow
drove
you?
you?
Oh, wait. Did he
wasn't-
allow you to do that to pay for
No,
it?
he didn't take it.
Exactly.
But that was my way.
And that can be an insult to the man.
I
depending on
didn't
how-
care at the time because guess what? I wasn't ready for a man. I didn't even want a man. I just wanted a friend. So I'm just sending you my message subtly and currently that this ain't no hold me tight kind of situation here.
Yeah.
Okay? And because of that, I was totally like look at in a different light because he know this isn't somebody you're gonna mess with or you're not gonna put in no here or excuse
And
my
it
French.
is-
Yeah, and up to today, he keep reminding. He always remember that. Up to today, he remembers that this person was, no joke kind of person. This is somebody who you have to look at carefully. Because right there I'm telling him, I'm not taking no nonsense. This ain't no hold on to me, don't let me go.
What about you, Malcolm?
But then
I want,
but
I
honestly,
really need the man to pay for me. He invited me. I took the time, and we have to take into consideration that for a woman, we spend much more to get ready for a date.
That's true.
We either
That's
do
true.
our hair, we may buy a new dress, we may go and do our nails, and that takes a lot of money and time. So I feel that if I'm getting ready, I'm getting beautiful, not only for him but for myself, that he should pay for the meal, for the first date meal.
Let me ask you though, have you ever met someone, let's say, I don't know, like a blind date or an internet? You know how on the internet
Yeah.
people go through sites,
right.
and they meet somebody on a dating site or stuff like that. I think in those circumstances, you may not want them paying for you the first time. You don't know this person, okay? And so you're trying to meet them, get to know them. You might go out for coffee.
But
you
that's
might go
that's
out,
a different.
wait.
Yeah.
You
Meet
might
and
go, but you may go for dinner. But you're just meeting this
But he
person,
still has
and you
an
don't want to
obligation to
feel
pay for
any
me.
kind of obligation to
I
them
don't feel
on
any
the first-
obligation at
But
all.
have you done that? Have you
Have I done? No.
Because
But
then
what
the
I-
situation might dictate it. I'm just saying it because I'm not in that situation.
What
I'm
I
not
will do,
dating, but I
Caroline,
think it may dictate it.
it was
Depends.
you said.
Happened
I will
with
go
my
for-
daughter,
Mhm.
and
I will go-
I
I
was
will go
glad
for
she
coffee.
did pay for herself.
I would go for
She
coffee.
met
I will go
somebody.
for coffee.
Well, this is her current person. Bo, the first time she met him, and they had dinner together, and she met him from his site or whatever, and they had dinner together. And she told me, I said, the check came and I went to pay for it. And he was so impressed. He's like, wow, my dad said any woman that would do that the first time you meet her, that's a keeper. Somebody who's wonderful. Every date after that, he paid. But she was like, I'm just meeting this person. I don't know who this person
And
is.
it was online.
It's
So I think that's a
online.
little
But
different.
But that's why I
different.
said a situation can dictate it. You don't know.
Nothing is black and white. That's what I figured.
I think when a woman show that kind of gumption, as we would say, that speaks a lot. That speaks volume. To some men, to some it doesn't. There are different types of people out there. There are different types of men, there are different types of women. There's some women who will take the bull by the horns up front, and there's someone who will sit back. There's some women who will be led, and there's some women who will lead. I'm in between the led and the lead. Okay? You're not pulling me, but at the same time, you're not pushing me. And I am very independent. I was raised very independently. And my first thing, even up to now, when I go out with people, other friends, I pulling out my half of the money.
Of course, that's your
different.
friend.
You know?
That's
Miss
different.
Harrison, what about you?
It's something that's in you. Automatically, it will come
You
out.
sound like your
regardless.
fierce independence, which is not bad, but I mean, I have.
Yeah, but
I'll
I
give my
like
take
that
later.
there's a certain
There's a
sophistication to me, really, to know that, okay, you invited me out and I am coming really looking good. So you should pay for my
You should pay.
my first meal. But that's me, I mean, I like that.
It's like
We're
feminine.
from this. We're from the old school
Different
because
schools.
I'm with
Different
you.
schools.
I'm with you. If
After
I ask
that,
you
I'll
out,
be able to, I can give my credit card. Say,
Right.
You don't have to pay today.
Right.
If it,
Here's
but
my thing.
the first time, that's when the impression is created.
Yes.
That's right.
Created
That's
what
right.
he
But
can
first
You
do.
see, you
impression
created
counts.
your own impression.
First
but my
impression
impression
counts.
is that if
So
this
then
man
you know.
thought of me in such a way and said, let's go out for dinner, it's dinner.
Right.
Dinner is on you.
A dinner, so you it's like him
Don't
opening the
invite
door
me
for
out
you.
if you don't have any money.
I'm
in your
walking
pocket.
I walk with dinner money and get home back money.
No, I
Oh,
don't.
no.
Oh yeah,
I
you
don't
should
know.
always.
You
You
should
should
always do
always.
that.
Well,
That's
you
because
should
of
have
safety.
it there. Yeah. You should
That
be
money
prepared
is there.
yourself because some people might
in
leave you
case
on the
anything-
side.
So
But I'm
I
not
like
That I-
I
that
like
I
the
agree.
fact of a man paying. Again, the circumstance dictates it, how you meet him and how you're asked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yes,
yeah,
yes.
if I'm I don't know where people meet. Other than I know they do a lot of internet kind of dating.
Online
But
dating.
if you meet someone at a bar or dancing in your club or whatever, and they do approach you, you haven't been talking first. A lot of with the online dating, you're talking, but online.
Online.
But if you meet somebody, let's say dancing, and they do come and they ask you out, me, I guess I would expect for them to pay for it because I didn't ask
Yeah,
you.
that's what I
But
expect.
here's
So
my
I
thing.
expect
If
that
I
too.
meet someone online, I would have taken that person out for coffee, meet and greet. Let me see if I like you. Don't take me to dinner that first time. Let's just meet and greet at Dunkin' Donuts, at Starbucks, someplace simple. Just have a cup of coffee, maybe a donut, and let me see how I feel about you sitting across from me.
And you'd probably
Right?
pay for your own.
And I pay for my own in that
If I
case
don't
because
want you around, I'm
this
gonna
is
get
just
rid of you
me
then.
talking to you online and not meeting you, and I just want to see what you look like. However, past that, or somebody that I know in person and they ask me out, if you are man enough to ask me out and then allow me, first of all, I will not take out my money. I will let him show himself for the gentleman that he is or the lowlife that he is. That if he's
Or
going to
if
let
you
me,
really want to take out your money, you could say, would you mind if I offer the tip?
That's it.
that's what I would
You
do.
know,
I've done that. I said, I would
that is
take
a
the
little
tip.
bit more sophisticated to me.
Right.
So, you know,
I
said,
have
all
paid
right,
for tip, yes.
would
I have
you
given
mind
a
if
tip.
I offer the tip? And that's communication.
Right.
Right there too. you
And a
know.
lot of guys, if they're real men, they don't even let you pay the tip. But I have offered to pay the tip.
Yeah.
Now, let's say we've been dating for a while. I'll pay sometimes. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll pay sometimes.
Yes, of
It's okay to
course.
pay sometimes.
The whole thing
I
sometimes.
think you
Or,
should.
Not
you know,
too often.
yeah. But
Because
no,
then-
I'm saying every now and then I could buy a meal. You know, it's your birthday.
Every
It's
now
Christmas
and
or
then.
something. I say, you know what? I'll get this one, but not regularly and not unless.
And not a percentage.
Let's say that I ask you, not a percentage, not in dating. You're asking me out. If I say, babe, you want us to go? Let's go to such and such and let's go to Applebee's. Now I don't know if babe have any money, so I ask. In a case like that, I'm prepared to either pay or
Yeah.
go Dutch. But if you ask me out, for God's sakes, be a man that enough that you could pay for a meal.
It's
Listen, at my stage in life, if you can't pay for a meal for me or you don't think I'm worth a
Yeah,
meal,
but you said that.
I'm
that-
not going
That
out.
makes
What
a
you're
difference.
saying, I
You're
understand.
It's not that
But
they're
you-
not capable of paying for the meal, you know. It's just that up front, you're gonna say up front. Well, for me, up front for me, right there and then, the first time I met you is that I could afford my thing.
But what that what,
You
what
don't
is
have
that?
That's
Take
not
it.
saying
It's
anything
not-
to the man though.
Yeah,
It
what
says
is
a
that
lot.
saying?
It
Why?
says a lot.
No.
It says a
Some
lot.
men are
It says
impressed
a
by
Because
lot.
some men,
Some
men
are,
take it
some
as
are not.
an insult.
I
And
really
some
You
will be
know,
impressed.
I know a lot of Jamaican men.
Well,
who
that's
would take
Jamaican
it as
men.
an
I
insult,
never
you know.
dated a Jamaican
Well,
man
that-
yet in
well,
my
that-
life. So I
Missing on
didn't.
something.
I am missing on nothing. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
This thing, it could go all different ways. You
Mm.
understand? But my thing is that on the first date, the way I met my husband, anybody would have agreed with me of paying on the first date. He did
But
not
it
take the
worked-
money.
It worked
He
for
did not
you.
take it. But and then it's not a matter that I get up and go and get dressed and get ready to go out. That was the second going on date. The very first date we met. That's it. The very first time we met. That same evening when I met him, we went out.
Okay.
Okay, so you
And
didn't know him.
I
And then
didn't know him. So I put up my change.
But did he ask you, or you just said,
No,
let's go?
he didn't
Okay,
ask me.
that's different.
He didn't ask me to
That's different.
pay. No, we were going home from work.
Mhm.
I'm on my way home, he's on his way home. And
Okay.
we met and we talked and
That's
and we
Well,
go
all
out.
of their circumstances
Yeah.
too. You
So
know, that's
I
not
pay my
bad.
piece and he said, no, it's okay, I'll cover you.
Mhm.
And then after that, the second, third, fourth date, that was it.
Right.
But we never separate after that first date. We were always together.
Mhm.
We were always together.
Mhm.
Up until
That
that's
is totally different.
That's like
Yeah, that's
The
almost
problem,
20
I
years
wouldn't
ago.
have a problem with that in that scenario. I also wouldn't have a problem if I met someone online and this person is taking me for coffee. You know what I mean? Meet and greet. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we are going to continue with our spicy dish segment, and we'll be right back. I'm Trish,
I'm a mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
and we are the Caribbean House Club. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. Before the break, we had a spicy topic about if it's okay for a woman, if it's ever okay for a woman to pay on a date, and we had very heated discussions even
On
after
a
the
first date.
on a first date. And again, my thing is I don't think it's okay once I'm being asked out and it's not a meet and greet or the little scenarios that might call for me for paying for my date, but I don't believe in it. Now, after I'm dating someone, yes, I can pay for a date every now and then. So let's see what our next topic is as we continue our spicy dish segment.
This is a really, really spicy dish. And I would advise if you have any young children around, send them out the room.
Yes, let them leave the room.
Okay, so the question is, sex robots will replace men by 2025, said Technologist. What's your opinion on that?
Technologists are predicting that sex robots will replace men in the boudoir.
The hell
By
is a sex
2025.
robot? What are we talking about?
I have no clue. This is some technology people are saying that by 2025, that they're thinking that robots would
take over.
will take over basically in the bedroom. Do you think this is a reality or just somebody talking out their way end?
Well, the way things are going in the technology field, I think probably. Because, if you look at what the scientists are saying and doing, anything is possible but putting breath in a person. Everything else, they're trying. So
this is possible.
So this probably is possible. I don't know how that robot is going to do it. Will he have a penis? I don't know. But it gets your mind thinking. Sorry, I won't be alive at that time.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, well,
By the
that's
time
not,
that
wait a minute,
happened,
y'all. That is not a long time.
2025, 9 years from now.
25, 9 years. So
Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
be an overtime
yeah.
lady.
Well, you might want it by then. You never know. But I'd love to know what the heck they're thinking about when they're saying this. Sex robots replacing men. I know this is a whole nother topic, but this country, this world is so sexist. Why are you saying sex robots replacing men? Are you also going to have the same thing that will replace women?
Well, that's
No.
the debate online.
The
understand
consensus
this.
of opinion is that there's shortage of men. You understand? So
Is that
this
what
where-
it is?
But
They think that there's shortage of
my
men?
thought on that is, what about the woman? Is she going to allow a robot to come in the
To go in
room?
her room.
What is she going to do? It's a lot to talk about and think about, but I don't think.
I think,
You know what I feel? I feel like if you into that sort of thing, if you're into toys, just get a toy. Why do you have to go to a
But
robot?
ladies,
Well, then
when
maybe
you
this
go-
is a more
we
sophisticated
all have
toy.
this experience of going to the gynecologist, and this cold thing that opens you up.
Mhm.
That is so disgusting. Much less a robot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't like it because it's cold. Well, people in my age.
Well, I'm
group,
sure
they
they
don't
don't
like
have
sure
it.
they have. They
But
thought
they'll
about
warm
that.
it up.
What,
you know?
what,
Well,
really warm it up?
sometimes-
What if the robot
sometimes-
malfunctions?
But-
I mean, really? I mean,
A
come
lot
on.
of men
A lot of
malfunction.
men-
No, we're talking
Like
about
the
an
strangling
instrument,
to
a
death.
robot. Right, he might
It might
shock
strangle
you.
you.
Exactly.
That is the time God calls
Oh,
it.
that's
Oh.
weird.
No,
I don't know what they're talking about. That's weird.
I don't think I don't think that would ever come to play because I don't know who woman out there, regardless what kind of man you want,
But you'll be
is going to go
surprised
and
to
replace
know.
a man with a robot.
You only talking
Why
for
would you do
yourself.
that?
You don't
You're
know.
speaking. You see,
You're
you're
speaking
hearing
for yourself.
this from people. You have husbands, but you have women who they're into their toys, and they might be saying, "Well, the only thing with the toy, he can't talk back to you.
And you
Wait,
can't
hear me
hug-
out.
you
You
can't
can't
hug
hug him.
the
He can't
toy.
talk back to you. But you're thinking,
Get off
okay.
the robot.
You're thinking, okay, with the robot, I could get some conversation pre-programmed, let's say. But I could program it to call me your honey baby. You know what I mean?
And he has hands you can't
Well,
hug
okay,
you.
how sophisticated is this robot? Does this robot look like a really gorgeous man?
Yes.
Or is it looking like man?
So what you think?
So it's looking like a man
And he could
Yes.
talk.
and it's
Because
a man.
it's cold.
Yes, but he's cold. I guess no, but
And listen, just think. Let me help your imagination. Just think. Who's a sexy voice for you? Like James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Have a sexy voice.
Yes.
So I can get my robot to have that kind of voice.
Yes.
But guess what?
I guess he's coming custom built,
Yeah.
so you can go
The
buy
more
a
you want, the
Very
more
robot.
you have to
expensive.
pay. Come on.
Look out, man. The robot is
Oh, I have sons.
Oh, come on. Wow.
But on a
Yeah,
serious
I have
note,
two
though.
boys too, so.
On a serious note, though, I don't think that it should ever that would have a replacement. I think that might be an alternative for women who are in between relationships or who is at a point where they can't find a decent man to their
Right.
liking.
Right.
But I don't think it will replace. I don't think if anyone has a choice, if someone have a choice between a male, a flesh-breathing male, and a robot, I don't think that they will, and barring certain issues, that they will pick a robot just for picking a robot.
I don't think any woman will go.
I could
to
be
that
wrong.
extent, honestly.
Mhm.
I can't see.
But that is what the technologists are saying. Okay, so let's do our Dear Help Team segment. We're going to go right into Dear Help Team. Normally we have a break and then we come back, but we had to break earlier. So we are going to do our Dear Help Team right now. And this is something that I have some personal knowledge about, so I think I will lead this discussion, and then everybody can jump in and give your opinion. This is about fire recovery. If you have a fire at your home, how do you know what to do? I mean, how do you what do you do? You're instantly you're
How big is
instantly
the
homeless.
fire at the time?
Well, you need to vacate your house. Like the fire that I had at my house, that
You have to vacate.
we had to vacate
But if
the
it's a
house.
small fire,
That's
let's say a
different.
kitchen fire,
You're right.
you use it. I'm sure you have. Everybody must have a.
Extinguisher. But no, we're talking the kind of fire
But
that the
you're talking
fire
about a
department
big
had to put
fire.
out,
Oh,
and the
okay.
house is not livable.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that happened, I'll lead the discussion in terms of what I personally went through. I mean, it's the most scary thing in the world, and you're in shock in the beginning because you're instantly homeless. I mean, I had family, and I went to stay with them,
Yes.
and I got a rental, and my insurance got me a rental. But when you look at your house and you realize, first of all, even though the fire did not destroy the house per se, the fire people and the water just totally, it needed to be gutted. So, how do you know what to do? And if you haven't been through a fire, let me educate you. There are people who are listening to police radio and they hear that there's a fire. They have radio, they're listening to those frequencies and they hear that there's a fire at 25 Water Street. And they will circle that block like sharks. I mean, my neighborhood, my house, there was like a carnival in my house. Every adjuster, every board up company, recovery company, they were, and of course you have the fire people, they circled that whole block. And they're pushing paper at you, trying to get you to sign with them. So I'm going to try to break this down for you a little bit, what some of this means. You're going to have the adjuster, and he's supposed to be the guy who's like a middleman between the insurance company and you. There might be good ones out there, but my experience and the experience of most people, I think it pays more for people to be educated about what to expect if there's a fire than to use one of these guys. I mean, if you get a good one, if you had a good experience, good for you. But the majority of people do not have good experiences with their adjuster. A lot of what you end up doing is they have numerous customers. You're not getting the attention that they're promising you when this fire is going on. And what often happens is your case gets put on the back burner and you end up saying, I could have done better for myself. So he's supposed to be the middleman. Then you're going to have a board up company that needs to come and board your windows up. That's not a lot of money. It might be like a few hundred, maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000 at the most, depending on the size of the house and what needs to be boarded up. They may have to put a top over your roof. I know in my house they had to put a top over. You also might have a cleaner, which the cleaning company might be somebody for your clothing, might be somebody who work with the adjuster, because the adjuster would have a connection with some of these board up companies. He would have a connection with the dry cleaner who's going to come take all your smoky clothes. And then you may have a recovery company that will come and pump the water out, from your basement or where have you. and basically try to dry the house out. The first thing you have to do is to call your insurance company and let them know that there's a fire, and they have to send someone out. The fire department will come out and they'll do their inspection. I can't do this issue justice by getting into all the details involved. So I think this has to be something that we cover over a period of time. And, but just to give you a little synopsis. So they pump the water out, they board your house up, the cleaning people take all your clothing and to get cleaned, and you now have an adjuster who's supposed to be working for your best interests. You have to stay on top of them, okay? You have to stay on top of them. You have to be tough. You can't be somebody that they could just push away. I mean, I remember my adjuster having to threaten them. I will come to your office and get in your face if you don't get on this phone. Like, I'm calling you for 3-4 days and you're not returning my call. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times these guys want to collect, but they're not looking to really look out for your best interest. They realize you're going to get some money and they'll get their 5%. Now, I believe they can get up to, I don't remember if it's 9 or 10%. You want to get them to sign, I think the least that they'll take is 5. Try to get them as low as possible. Because for them to get a good something, they have to try to fight for you a little harder so they get more for you and they get a good portion. So it's important. Don't just sign and just let them. I remember I signed for 5%. Other people tell me they signed for 8% and so forth. Now this person is going to look out. They're going to not look out for. They should be looking out for you both in terms of your building and your content. So you should have a building insurance. Your policy should have building renovation money, and then you should also get content money. Now what's confusing is that people think if I insured my building for $400,000 and I have a fire, that's what they're going to give me to repair it. That's not the case. They also might not understand that you have different types of policies, even within the same company. So you're going to have an actual cost policy and a replacement policy. The actual cost means if I bought this glass for $5 and it's only worth $1, that's what I get, $1. The replacement means if I bought this glass for $5, that's what I get. But I have to show the insurance company later on that I did pay that $5 to replace. But the actual cost, whatever they finally settle on, it was $5, now you're getting $1. They don't need to see receipt. They would need to see receipt if they're paying $5 and you're supposed to buy back something that costs $5. So you got to show them your receipts. So those are important things to know. Mm-hmm. Most insurance policies, after about a year, you're on your own. So you have to be on that adjuster and your contractor. And I'm going to take this topic up on the next show, and we're going to talk about the whole issue with the contractors, because I ran into a really big problem with my contractor. He basically took off with a ton of money and left me with a shell, which I had to fight to get another contractor to settle. So you need to be careful that if you're getting a contractor, he's bonded and insured. Don't have your friend recommend somebody to you that's trying a thing. Don't let nobody try a thing on you. Let them know what they're doing. Have an established company, and you make sure that the money that they're getting is not more than the work they're doing. So you don't just go drop money all over the place on them, and make sure you have a good contract between them. Have an attorney look over the contract that it covers all of the areas, and you would have a fight on your hand trying to get that insurance company to release money so you can get your work started. You also want to make sure that you have a contractor that has money that he could start this process before you get your money. You don't want to do what I did, which is to get a contractor who was trying a thing. He wasn't what he claimed he was. And when the time came, he was waiting for the insurance company to release the money. And everything took longer. It took months before we got to that place. If you have a contractor that has an established company, he is going to start your building because he knew you're getting your money. Unless you're an arsonist who start your own house, you're getting your money. It may not be what you want, but you're getting your money. So he's going to start your work. Okay? You might find cases where the adjuster and the contractor are working together. I don't particularly like that scenario. That's up to you. But a lot of adjusters do work with other contractors where, I'll get this guy to do your house for you. And for some people that might work best. I didn't particularly like it, but I can't say what I got in the end was any better because like I said, had someone who was not what they represented themselves to be, and it was a bitter pill. So, I hope that you never find yourself in that situation, but if you do, I hope the information that I gave was a little helpful. And again, we're going to cover this issue on future shows because I don't think I can do it justice on this show. All right? So let's take a break. And when we come back from our break, we're going to talk about our health and fitness. I know I don't look too healthy, but I do want to get healthy. So we're going to come back and have Amalfi take us into some kind of discussion about health and fitness. Okay. We'll be right back. I'm Trish.
I'm Amalfi.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
And we are the Caribbean House Club. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. And as I was saying before the break, I'm not in the best of shape. I'm actually not in bad health, but I want to prevent myself from getting into bad health. Okay, so I am trying ever so hard to be a little bit more healthy and fit. And who else do I come to for advice but our own Amalfi Estevez?
Thank you.
Take it away.
So today I have something very, very easy to do, but I think for most people it's very hard in a way because we are always on the go, and that's sleep. We need to sleep more. The body requires about ideally 7 to 8 hours a night of sleep to be able to regenerate, to be able to calm down, and then the next day you're gonna have energy. It's like charging a phone. Just look at it that way. When there's no energy, there's nothing there, you're not gonna run well. It's like a computer. So I suggest getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know that it's hard because we have a lot of things. We have a job, we have kids, but we need to make it a priority. The same way that we make going to work on time a priority, we should make going to sleep a priority. One of the things that I have tried doing before going to sleep is setting aside all technology, even maybe dimming down your lights, because your body needs to get ready to go to sleep. And it takes about, I would say, 2 hours, an average, for your body to calm down and then go to sleep. Also, the caffeine that you consume. It's different for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, caffeine. Yeah. It's different for everybody, but you will learn to know your body. Like if you know that you're very sensitive to coffee, don't drink coffee at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because then you're gonna be right awake at 5, at 8, late into the night. So that's something that you need, and that will be helpful. Also, the food that you eat before going to sleep. If you eat something pretty heavy, even though you may get the wind of 30 minutes because your body's trying to digest that, after what happens is after those 30 minutes, your body awakes again. So try to eat something light, or not try to eat not something very heavy when you're going to sleep. So those are a few things.
What about herbal, like a teas? Like for instance, I like to have at night a cup of chamomile. I gotta remember to buy some because I run out of it. I would take 1 tea bag of chamomile tea, and I get soursop leaves from the islands.
Yeah.
Soursop is a fruit that we use in the island, and I dry them and I just crunch them up and put them in my cup with the chamomile. And I tell you, I would have some of the most vivid dreams. That's how peaceful the sleep is.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't want to go or will take sleeping pills. I don't believe in
No.
that, you know. But I do use my little chamomile tea to kind of
Yeah,
calm
because
me.
it has a calming effect on
Put
your
some
body.
lavender on my pillow, you know, things like that. You know.
And make your room as peaceful as possible. Try not to have maybe a TV in your room, because what happens is you get wired up because of the lighting. So if you can make your room as peaceful as possible, and so that when you go in there, it's just to sleep.
Well,
Good advice.
yeah, I was saying in an earlier show that one of the things I did, because I had the worst case of insomnia, I ended up buying a recliner for my room, and I stopped watching TV in my bed, because all of a sudden my body's associating the TV with watching TV with the bed, and that worked. But I still felt like you guys know me. I'm always up doing this, thinking about this, trying to get this, trying to research this, and you just need to calm down. And sometimes I need a little help, but I don't want to go the route of drugs and stuff like that. So I do my soursop and my chamomile, and that usually works for me.
Or you can have a nice walk before going to sleep. I think walking that really calms your
I do
system down.
squats. I do 10 squats before I go to bed at night.
Oh, okay.
10 squats?
That's
10
great.
squats as I go.
Is
in
that
the room.
why you keep in such wonderful shape?
Yes.
10
I think you look
squats.
great.
And
Wow.
when I get up in the morning, I do the other 10.
That's
No, but 10
that's a
squats. And by the time you wind down,
Mhm.
I have a TV in my room and I have a computer in my room.
Mhm.
But I think it takes discipline, a lot of discipline.
A lot of discipline not
A
to
lot
turn
of
it on.
discipline. I know when to turn the TV off because my body tells me.
Mhm.
But it's over the years that I practice that. I go to bed at exactly 11 o'clock. Actually, I go in the bed at 10:30. I watch a little TV and I shut it off. As it says 11, I'm gone to my bed and I turn off everything. But as I said, it takes discipline.
And most
And
people don't
depends
have
on,
the discipline.
your workload or what you have to do during the day. But for me, that's what works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good tips. Very good.
But I don't have anything in special about going to bed, because it all depends on how much I have to do. And there are times when I can be up all night into the next morning.
Yeah.
See the sun come up
Yeah.
until 8 o'clock, and then I can go and lay down a little bit, get up by noon, and back to the machine again, and just keep going. There are times sometimes I would go all night, all day, and then like about 9 in the next night, I would like crash. I go to bed. I get a couple of hours, and then I'm up again, back on the machine. I'm so wired that there are times when I don't even get sleepy. And there are times when I can just see the sun start going down, and I'm in my bed. There are times when I go to bed at 6 o'clock.
But
at
how
night.
do you feel when you get a good night's sleep?
Oh, to me, it's not a big difference, honestly. Sleep is sleep when it comes to me. It's not that if I get a good night's sleep, I'm going to feel better tomorrow. In opposed to say, if I go to bed, like, work long hours and then go to bed, it's the same thing for me.
But you have the flexibility of not, maybe because you work at home, of not waking up at a specific time.
Right.
Most people have a schedule that they
Right,
need to
that's the
follow.
problem.
And if they don't get a good night's sleep and they have to wake up early, then everything changes.
That's true too.
You know,
because
when you
I
look
can
at yourself,
sleep
when you
all
get a
day.
good night's sleep and you look at your face in the mirror,
It's
you look
different.
much better. You do things differently. You react to things differently. Why? Because you recharge your body. You gave your body the sleep that it needed. Otherwise,
That
it's
is
just-
true.
I took
I
some
agree
time
with that,
off from
but-
work, and I told the kids for the first time, I will not be getting up making you big breakfast. I bring breakfast in the morning. And I truly, for the first time, understood what a recharge meant.
you did.
I would stay
you
in
told
my
me
bed
about
until
it.
almost 1 o'clock,
You
if
told-
that's what I felt like.
But do you feel like when you
Ooh,
woke? Yes,
ooh.
it was
I was
amazing.
almost depressed when it was time to go back to work. But the bell's called.
Uh-huh.
So you have to
There
go.
is a little, I don't know if it's a fruit fly
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's flying around in here, and I swear I'm going to kill it, but I have to get a
Find
good
it
aim
first.
and then kill it. But I see it every now and then darting.
Find
All
it.
right, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be graced with passions from Miss Irma Weiss. What do you have for us? Some shawls that you're gonna?
Yeah, shawls.
So you're gonna show us some
Yeah.
shawls,
Okay.
and we're gonna be your models.
Yeah. Can't
We
wait.
will be right back.
See ya.
I'm Trish,
I'm a mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
and we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. And on the set today, we are all here modeling. We are models today, ladies. Modeling some shawls by our dear own Irma Weiss. And so what I have here, can you explain this piece? So it's just a wraparound?
They're very different shapes and different styles. This one you're wearing is just a wrap. It's you just can just wrap it around it over your shoulder if you feel like it, or and you can use a brooch or a pin, stick
And
it right
pin it
there
up,
and
okay.
hold it there.
Like that.
Caroline, yours is almost the same thing. You do, just to wrap it around and pull it over, make sure it's covering you properly, and you just do your wrap. Amalfi is wearing a hooded shawl. Amalfi's shawl has a small hood, a hood that you can use in case of high wind and cold and stuff to keep stuff out. And it's closed. There's two closures here that you can keep it together. And Hyacinth is wearing a gorgeous pink
Alright,
and black
alright, Lady H.
pantsuit that you can wrap anyhow. You can wrap it around, same as this one, but it's slightly different. And here I have the black and white houndstooth, which is actually the same style, same design. This is how it is. It's just a circle that with a scoop out neckline and a scoop front. And this is how you put it. You put it around you like that. Wrap one piece over and the other. You just throw it over your shoulder like that. And you can accent it with a pin here to keep it together while you move around and do your thing, run your chores. Just running out to pick up the kids from school, and just to keep the wind out if it's not too cold out there, but it's too warm for a coat and too cold to go without something. So this is where these
I
things
would not
come
wear
in.
that to pick up my kids, honey. That looks beautiful. That is gorgeous. And you know something, the thing with
Yes,
shawls,
so-
there's an elegance about shawls,
Right.
and the versatility, the fact
Yes.
that you could wear it like this, or you could,
Wrap it over you. And
so
yeah, most of my stuff, it's like you can wear them on both sides. They're reversible. They're the same. This one is the same on both sides, so it doesn't see a choppy shawl. It's just one continuous thing. And there's some where they're lined, which you don't necessarily have to wrap. And there's the other ones that I use, like this one. It's reversible. You can use it on both sides. And and this one too.
Darker side.
This is
There's a
actually
darker side.
yeah.
Oh.
There's a darker side
Oh,
and there's a
okay.
lighter side. Yep. And you see, it goes both ways.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it for my shawls.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Very glamorous, very nice, and they're really, really snuggly. So we're gonna go take a break, and when we come back, we are going to be doing some island rum punch.
Yes.
And I have to be very responsible because these ladies have to drive. So they can only take a little sip and you can walk with the rest. But we're going to show you how to make the island Caribbean rum punch. We'll be right back. I'm Trish,
I'm a mountain.
I'm Irma.
And I'm Caroline.
and we are the Caribbean House Talk. Welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. We're going to be making for you spicy island rum punch. And my helper today is Miss Harrison, Hyacinth Harrison. So what I'm going to do is pour in this glass, in this bowl right here. I'm going to pour probably about 2 cups of orange juice. With some lemon juice. I really would do more lemon juice than this, but I didn't pick up enough. Grenadine syrup. Put probably about,
Oh gosh.
no, put about a cup and a half. Some people put, I know I do, I put a little bit of nutmeg. I just like the smell of it, especially when you let it sit for a little while. We have a rum from St. Vincent and the Grenadines called Sunset Rum, very strong rum. And it's 84.5% alcohol. This thing can run a train. Let me tell you, if you drink this, you cannot drink this raw. It will strip your mouth. Okay? So this is the kind of thing in the islands we have this saying that we say this is going to make your chest grow hair, even if you're a woman. Okay? So it's very strong stuff. So we're going to put about a cup of this in the punch. Some people wouldn't use this because this is specific to St. Vincent, but some people would use Bacardi. So I typically like to put both. So I will put some Bacardi and mix it all up. Okay. I'm gonna taste and see because I like to taste my liquor. When I drink liquor, I like to taste it. Okay, put a little bit more Bacardi. Okay. And that's what you have. Grenadine syrup, rum of your choice, or you can put a couple of different types of rum, orange juice, lemon juice, a little nutmeg. Some people might put a little cinnamon. I don't necessarily care for the cinnamon, but I love the nutmeg. And when this thing sits overnight, you will have a delicious little punch.
Let me pass it around to the ladies who are going to drink it. They need ice. Nobody?
I don't want any, I can't drink.
Okay, I'll taste it. Delicious.
Thank you. If you let this sit tomorrow with everything in it, and it gets a little bit what we call ripe, that's when you want to taste how it tastes. And that's it, folks. That's Caribbean rum punch. And people have different ways of putting it in. Like for instance, you can put a little orange rind or things in it, whatever you want to spice it up with. That's it for this edition of Caribbean House Talk. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Bye-bye.